shout out his podcast. What is this podcast? At Addict Game Changer Pod. 123 Wrestling, Cape Breton, Canada. Sean, aka Shattered from Harrow, England. MJF Scarf, San Antonio. Matt Mardigan from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. By the way, MJF Scarf is actually pretty funny. I've read some stuff on Twitter. You know him, Joe?
Okay.
No.
Who you take with you?
Yeah. Timothy Miller, New Orleans. Have you ever heard of this guy, Joe? Norm Connors.
I have. Big promoter of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he listens to our show. Yeah, he was.
IWC, like International Wrestling Park.
Yes, yes.
He's the main guy.
Right. Yeah, and
Corey Graves used Sterling James Keenan.
yeah, he was actually.
I wrestled a show for Norm Connors. AJ Styles was on the show, and I get a room with AJ Styles because we're both flying in out of Atlanta, and I roomed with AJ Styles at the show, in the hotel. And AJ had pajamas with sailboats. Pajamas with sailboats, like a 5-year-old kid. No lie.
So anyways, yeah, Norm Connors, shouts out to him. Duncan from Orlando, One Rob 88 from Seattle. His kids' channel is GWF Entertainment on YouTube. We got a Patreon member, Al Key from East Los Angeles, Mike Huff from Milwaukee, Jimmy Flame, Baltimore, John Mayer, Asbury Park, New Jersey, Javier Flores from Amarillo, Texas, Ray the Bay from Ardmore, Oklahoma, Beltamania crew. Some guys are in Cincinnati, and shout out to the rest of the crew, which is in New York, New Jersey, and Florida. Ozzy Lucian Blogs and Podcasts from Moramba, Australia. Kevin Frazier, Fort Worth, Texas. He says he's trained by Jazz and Rodney Mack. Good trainers, even better people. Rock and Roll Up Podcast from the UK. A Patreon member, Hayes from New York City. James from Derby, England. Happy 30th birthday from me. Jojo D.I. does not give out birthday shout-outs. Greg Royball from San Antonio, Texas. Big Tom from Portland, New York. Essentialist Lupus from Houston. Rin from Japan. Jay with the good hair from the Boogie Down Bronx, New York. Phil the massage guy from the 205 Birmingham, Alabama. And we have 2 more Patreon members. Fat Superman Fudge, that's his name, from Cleveland, Ohio. And another Patreon member, Dan49 from the 915 El Paso, Texas, Chupo Town. And DJ Vance Highland from Austin, Texas. Those are the shout-outs. Thank you very much for listening to the show. We can do record numbers on Patreon. Thanks to you guys, because that just supports the show. Besides the sponsors that we have on the show. We actually use their products. Shout out to
So
if
nobody.
If you're a Patreon member and you want to do the intro
Y'all
to the
can
show,
hear it, shit.
you can do that, and I'll send you a little script of what's going to be on. You can plug yourself or
Maybe
Twitter or
next
whatever
time
you
I
want to
get
do.
free.
So that's another benefit of being on the Patreon.
Yeah, Patrons was actually supports the show. There's no ads. As you know, we try to be anti-formulaic. We try to do thought-provoking content. You know, busting balls. That's basically our MO. Try to be entertaining at the same time, and you can catch us out. You can catch us. We have different levels. Each one gives you a little bit more, and one of the main things, and I think would be my favorite thing, is you can go back in the archives for 3 years and listen to any show.
Yeah.
So all the funny gags, the disco list, all the shit that we've done with KG, all the funny shit that we've talked about. If it was topical, we talked about it.
Yeah,
So
and I did put up, and I'm going to start doing this a little bit more too. I put up a classic clip that had only been on Patreon before, and it was a little bit of extra when you guys were crushing KG for his appearance on Killing the Town. It was one of my first weeks on the show. You could hear a couple of Joe's chuckles very quietly in the background as I wasn't talking yet. But so I put that up, and also every week
a lot of people say that they want me to bring back that feature again, the one where you don't talk.
Right.
But I did not. Just let Joe give him a little shine.
And every week I put up an ad and music-free version of the show, which goes up about 24 hours or so before the show is released on iTunes, Libsyn, and all that. So if you want to hear the show early, it's also available on Patreon.
Right. And you can check that out at KONNAN.me. And also, if you got any questions or you got any music that you want to send to the Juicy Frankie seal of approval, send them to k100questions@gmail.com. Keep the letters short so we can read a grip of them. And Joe's manning the facebook.com/K100Conan. He's manning the ones and twos over there. And tell them about YouTube.
Well, on the Keep It 100 official YouTube, of course, Husey is over there putting up clips almost on a daily basis. There's clips in the show each week. YouTube as well as I sent him some classic clips to put up. One of the things that's going to go up this week is the first ever mailbag that we did. And I just found that and I sent him that to put up on the YouTube. But there's over 15,000 subscribers. There's all kinds of conversation going on under each clip. So get over there, check out the clips, and join in on the ball busting back and forth below each clip. And yeah, like I said, that's Husey that puts up the clips over there.
Yeah, and it's really been incredible that I've been doing this follow me, I'll follow you back thing, where I've been chopping it up with a lot of fans, and just really how many people really love the show, and it helps them get either through they're either the hospital or jogging or they're driving a truck, exercising, whatever it is. So many people use it for so many different reasons, but we're so glad with the proliferation of so many podcasts that you continue to listen to us and support us. So thank you very much.
Hey, this is Ken Shamrock, world's most dangerous man. You're listening to Keep It 100 with Conan, Disco Inferno.
Amigos, my name is Armando Alejandro Estrada, and you're listening to Keeping It 100 with my hombre, with my cartal, Conan, K-Dog, and that other jobber from WCW, ¿cómo se llama?
Alex Wright.
Alex Wright, the dancing bandejo.
King Shane Helms returns to the show to discuss all the televised shows across the wrestling landscape, as well as upcoming UFC cards. You can check out the rest of this interview on video at patreon.com/Conan and Conan.me.
What wrestling have you been watching lately?
Dude, I've been watching it everything because I started a new gig with Fight TV where we do a show called Primetime Pro Wrestling Report. So
What is everything? Okay.
everything, man. The only thing I don't really watch is Ring of Honor right now because they're not really putting out anything.
Yeah, they're
new.
doing like personality profiles.
Yeah, which is it's something. It's better than nothing,
Yeah.
but
Okay, let me go. I'm gonna go to a couple.
I'll give you my order of shows. I watch Dynamite first. I watch Impact second. I watch SmackDown, and then I watch Raw.
All right, you don't watch NXT?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So NXT would be first.
I'm gonna go through a couple things, right? And I'm gonna ask you a couple questions on each company and maybe a couple performers, just to hear your take. All right?
Yeah.
NXT, give me the good and the bad. What you like, what you don't like.
Karrion Kross is probably the best thing on the show right now. I like Io Shirai as far as what the women are doing. She's had a couple really good vignettes. I like what Cameron Grimes is doing. I think Damian Priest is doing some good stuff.
Steve, let me ask you a question. What is your connection with Cameron Grimes besides you're both from North Carolina? Do you in any way train him or anything or not?
I was with him a little bit. I wouldn't take the credit for training him. I worked with him. Yeah, his dad was a Omega original. Actually, since the
What was his dad's name?
he wasn't somebody you would know.
All right, let's throw the name anyways. What?
I think he worked as Brimstone.
I just want to say
heard of that.
Little softball. But and so actually, today was yesterday or the day before was the anniversary of Undertaker throwing Mick Foley off the cage. We were actually at Cameron Grimes' house watching that Mean Man Jeff all those years ago because his dad had gotten the pay-per-view and our broadcasters, none of us could afford it, so we would all get together and watch it. We were actually at Cameron's house, so he was probably fucking 3 years old. But yeah, that's my only connection with him. I think they're doing some cool stuff with the tag teams as far as bringing Breezango back. I know that Shaw's tag team, y'all used to it.
So anything you don't like about the show?
Oh, it's very dark. It's dark and red. From an aesthetic standpoint, I don't like that at all. You watch Monday Night Raw last night, and it's all colorful, and it just adds more energy to it. NXT just seems very, very. It is very dark. Very outdated compared to pay-per-view.
What do you like, what you don't like with SmackDown?
I like the Bray Wyatt stuff. I like that he's going to have the multiple personality type gimmicks. I don't like that he's now in a non-title match with Braun Strowman. Fucking non-title matches. I talked about this on Twitter a couple weeks ago, and a lot of various people agreeing, disagreeing, whatever. Non-title matches make absolutely no fucking sense anymore. They never.
Especially the guy that doesn't have a title wins 99%.
They never really fucking did make any sense. Only under special circumstances, but they're really. In 2020, nobody gives a shit about non-title matches, so that gives me no incentive to watch that. I like Sasha Banks. I think the fans are itching for her to turn on Bayley at some point and get that babyface run.
They're always doing that.
Yeah.
Her and Bayley are going to fight. They almost fight. They do fight. And they bring them back together. It's like they've done that a lot, Shane.
Yeah, but I think it feels like it's got a little bit better story this time. I don't know, for whatever reason. As far as Ed Nakamura, Cesaro always fucking steal the show, although they get very little credit, it seems. But I don't like the they brought AJ over and the draft was supposed to be solidified and now it's not solidified again, so they're doing that, switching people back and forth. But I don't know. SmackDown, like I said, Raw, WWE, the main roster seems really depleted, and it is. It doesn't seem that good. It just fucking is. It's just really depleted at the moment.
Right. Did you see yesterday's show?
I watched bits and pieces of it. I found it kind of hard to get through.
Yeah. No, I thought it had a better flow than usual. Okay.
I thought last week was excellent. Last night
had a good flow. It had a lot of shit going on at the same time. There's nothing I'm super interested in, but it had a much better flow.
It's just hard because Drew fucking McIntyre, he had this really organic, just how he moved up from mid card to where he was, his position, and it was organic. Some of it was creatively driven. You know, I know that because I was in some of those meetings, and the things he did were by design. And now that he's got the belt, there's no fucking audience for him to really suck it into, and it's just.
And let me tell you about him. Bro, he looks like a champion, he talks like a champion, he wrestles like a champion, bro.
Yeah.
He's great, and the bad thing is that they destroyed Dolph so much that nobody thinks he has a chance against him. But if you watch Dolph, he's still killing it on the mic, and he's still killing it in the ring. He was selling for him like, remember how Kurt Hennig used to sell for Hogan back in the day with all those flips? That's how Dolph was selling yesterday.
Dolph is one of these guys because he doesn't have the mystique of coming from Japan, or he didn't do anything outside. He doesn't have outside mystique. WWE, I don't think we still realize, even to this day, what they have in Dolph Ziggler. Like if he could at some point did the Christian thing where he was out for a couple of years and came back, that would help him even more. But then he started throwing bigger money at him because they don't want him to do that. Yeah. And so he takes the money. You know, and I understand that as well.
Definitely super underutilized. Okay, AEW.
AEW is doing some really good stuff. We do need to, I need Jimmy Cordell because always one of the referees. That's good. They do do a lot of silly stuff with the referees that kind of take the out of the match sometimes. I love what they did with Orange Cassidy. His stuff in Jericho's been fun. Jericho's the biggest star in the business right now, hands down. I like what Cody's doing with the TNT title. Their tag team division is probably the best tag team division going. Now that they got FTR, FTR in their match with SCU last week was really damn good.
I don't understand something. Why do they keep that belt? Isn't finished, is it? That TNA belt?
No, it isn't finished.
What is the purpose of having a belt that's not finished?
Well, I mean, I think the idea was that it was going to be finished, but the pandemic slowed it down, and because they'd already said we're going to do it, they're going ahead and putting it out there just to have something instead of nothing.
Yeah, here's another thing I don't understand.
It is ugly right now, though. Right now it's fucking.
Yeah, but I don't understand because to me it makes no fucking difference, and they made a big deal of it. The rankings.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's kind of a distraction. Yeah. The rankings, I'm okay with at times. The records, I don't really care about. You know,
the records with the rankings. Yeah, the records with the rankings. Like,
and then they're going to reset them every year anyway. That doesn't really do a lot for me. You know.
Plus, too, everybody's talking about what a big star Sammy is, and he's been a great addition to the show. And every time he walks out, his record stinks. It's like he's like 2-11 or something. You're like, why is this guy? Why does he have a match? You know?
And not only that, Shane. Let me say this. It just reinforces the fact when you see somebody like Sammy Guevara, who is over and is talented and is 2-11, that wins and matters don't really matter that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but too, I think you always need to keep in mind that you're going to have new viewers watching, and a new viewer that sees the guy that's 2-11. They're going to be like, this is fucking trash. You know, if you turn on UFC and see a guy that's 2-11 and he's getting a fucking title shot, you don't see that. You always have
that's my point. It's not necessary because it's not a real fight. So why are you putting that up there?
Two things that people do not care about. They don't care about the records, and they don't care about the camera being in the shot. They don't care about the camera being there. That's just two things people don't care about anymore. And I think it's funny, you know, some of these companies are trying to, I don't know, trying to fight against that reality sometimes. I don't know, it's crazy. So,
I just think they do have a lot of talent that really isn't ready for TV. A little bit of the buddy system that it's like, yeah, you're my friend, you're in here, and they're gonna figure out that isn't good business either. But that's for them to figure out. What do you think about? Have you watched anything from Impact?
Yeah, I love what Moose is doing. Moose is my favorite thing. He's one of my favorite things in the business right now. Going and bringing back that big TNA championship, and now that they don't have an Impact World Champion, I would run with him, proclaiming himself as far as they could push that. I would have them doing that.
And what's funny is that in the dressing room we have this inside joke where I don't know where it started or how it started, but he says that if he fought Floyd Mayweather, okay, so he says that he can beat him up, okay. So just so you know that when you're on Twitter or you see him, because that's kind of like a locker room thing that we got going with it. I always put him over, but the majority of the locker room is very serious. And he gets shoot mad. It's funny.
If he grabbed Floyd Mayweather, you don't think he could choke him to death?
I said I back him up. I say I'm with him, but most of the locker room isn't, and they rile him up.
No,
You know, which is the funny part. Yeah.
Did you see that it came out today with bringing in Anderson and Gallows?
Was that legit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good grab for them. So, yeah, like I tweeted yesterday, the day before. It's so weird. Anytime I tweet anything, but it's like Impact seems to be the one company that's gaining some momentum during all this. Nobody else is gaining any fucking momentum whatsoever. Losing it, in fact. They just.
I think NXT's doing a little bit better.
No, not at all. Not as far as momentum. They're losing their identity. You know, they were the separate.
They just beat AEW in the meeting. They just beat AEW.
They've been actually had a good 4-week run here.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the total numbers for that Wednesday night. Or the total numbers are always kind of the same. It's just some people might watch that, some people watch that. Winning one week to me isn't momentum. I'm talking about sustained momentum. They've lost their identity ever since. They've had WWE guys showing up on the show, Charlotte showing up on the show, other people showing up. So, and like they're not like getting any bigger. They're not getting any bigger. Impact is growing. Like they just had that deal, like I said, with all these new channels showing up. They're bringing in newer talent. NXT isn't bringing in newer talent. They aren't expanding anywhere. So, I mean, yeah, they had a good week of ratings, I'm sure. But like I said, I still think Impact had the most momentum during this pandemic era of any company.
Have you been watching NWA?
No, I keep up with that on Twitter. Like that's on YouTube or some shit, right?
Yeah. I don't think they're even doing shows anymore. They're doing like some shit called Carneyland. I don't know.
Well, once the Lagana thing happened, they said they were suspending operations temporarily or whatever.
Bro, their shows are good.
Yeah, I've seen clips. I don't think I watched any show in its entirety, but I've seen some clips.
So they have really good talkers, like what's his name? Eddie King.
Eli Drake's their best talker.
No, the best talker is the English guy. What's his name?
Nick.
He's a fucking beast.
Yeah, I love
I don't
that.
think he's better than Eli Drake.
Yes,
Eddie Kingston's killing it.
I do too. But anyway, Eli's great, but it's a different.
Yeah, I love the shit out of watching
so
Nick and them.
Eli and him are great, both of them. And so's Eddie Kingston, really good. The guy that does the high-yai karate, what's his name? Remember the guy comes out and he's got a question mark?
Yeah,
he goes,
Mark.
Hi-yai karate, and he's got some manager with him, like a handler. The guy that used to be he was an Impact for a while.
He is the question, right? Isn't that his name?
Question mark.
No, but what was his name in WWE?
No, are you talking about
The guy with
the guy that did? He was the Miz's stunt double.
Yeah, what's his name?
Oh, Sandow. Yeah.
Sandow comes out with that karate guy. They're very fun.
Yeah.
But they got a lot, and there they got this wild character, Zaki, Zickies, Dickies. I don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
Look like somebody out of the 90s and shit. He's actually very funny too. They got a good show.
Yeah. Is there any talk of them doing new stuff, or are they just suspended, which ends up being a permanent thing?
I don't know. I don't really know what happened over there. Joe, you're saying that they suspended operations, right?
That's what they said after Lagana left. They were temporarily suspending operations. Yeah.
But they'll probably come back. Bro. They don't need Lagana to run the fucking company.
I don't think he ran the company, but I think he was the guy that was putting out a lot of the content. He was doing a lot of what, you know how Borash was kind of a one-man.
Yeah. He was doing like.
Those
guys aren't easy to find. That's for damn sure. So that's what he was doing. Yeah, that's going to be hard to replace. Shane, question: why was I not or Disco asked to shout you out on your 100th or 50th anniversary, or whatever it was?
My 150th anniversary. I'm not that old.
Your show's anniversary. What was it? The 50th? I was going to send you a late one on the 52nd episode, and
that would have been more apropos.
I know that's right. I was going to do that as a rib without you even knowing it, and then I get into my red and I forget. So I just want to wish you a happy anniversary right now on your 50th anniversary show.
I appreciate it. There was actually somebody that sent me one, and I forgot that they did, and I didn't send it to JoJo, and then they were like, "Hey man, I thought you were going to use it." I can't remember who the fuck it was.
Yeah. Well,
have you guys seen the Fight Island, the UFC trailer for Fight Island yet?
Yeah, I saw that.
Have you seen it, Shane?
No.
Oh, yeah, Joe, I sent it to you. Play it. Pretty cool. Yeah, he's an art stream you can do all this week.
Joe's only been doing this like 3 years.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
I saw the other one, but the one Dana put up. But let me just say this, Shane, it's been incredible because during this coronavirus, the Ferguson Gaethje, the Poirier Hooker, and the Weebles versus Joanna, those fights have been incredible. You know, we've seen some great fights, and I'm super pumped for this second fight either.
Yeah, I like it. I like MMA without an audience there. You know, you pay attention more. Not having an audience doesn't. Pro wrestling is the only thing that bothers me without an audience. I can watch anything else without an audience and be fine.
Yeah.
Right. Let me just say this: Mickey Gall, who was actually supposed to show up on our show once and no-showed, and for that he will always have heat. He also has mega heat for his entrance song "Mickey," which sounds like a cheerleader song.
Yeah, he deserves to lose. That means that's here. You can't go to that fight with that because you didn't expect to win.
Have you not heard that song before?
I've heard the song.
Yeah, it sounds like the 70s or something.
Sounds very corny to me. Let me just say that.
It's MTV.
It's not something I would walk out to. It's like a bunch of girls. Sounds like a bunch of teenage girls going, "Hey, Mickey." What the fuck they were saying? I was like, "What did you?" Oh, you know. Wait a minute. Just following the lyrics.
Daisy.
It works as a heel. As a heel is perfect for him.
He got heat for that. If that's what he was going for, he got it. We also say that I love the fact that
He lost to a guy with no corner.
right? And I love the fact that his girlfriend gave him zero advice. He actually gave her advice and told her to put that bag of ice on his head.
Yeah.
Bro, and I love...
And then he cuts a promo on the media afterwards. Like, this is your moment. Like,
yeah.
It works out well when they attack the media. The media's going to go, okay, they're going to go, yeah, shake their head, and then they're going to bury him the next day.
Yeah. I will say this, bro. In the third round, I love the way that he just walked Gal down, showed no respect, and was just throwing power shots, bro.
Yeah, Valour's cardio in his later rounds hasn't been that good. He's a good starter, but and he doesn't like start off. His tank's going to empty, so he can't really attack like I feel like he wants to. He's trying to conserve, but there's just that gas tank isn't there.
And I think Shane Perry knew that. That's why he kept bringing him down and making him work and tiring him out more.
Yeah, did you see that guy hit that arm triangle from the bottom?
Yeah.
That was pretty. I didn't even know what it happened. I thought that.
Yeah. He got out of it. Yeah, he got out of that.
That's terrible shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What you got in the tomorrow Usman?
Before we get to that, please tell me, what can you tell me about that awesome Poirier Hooker fight?
Man, they just fucking went at it. They just did not stop. Like, if Hooker's cardio could have been a little bit better, I'm surprised that he got pieced up because he was supposed to be the better striker, I guess. But somebody forgot to tell Poirier that Poirier landed almost at will.
Bro, remember that one time he had him up against the ring and he hit him with like a 10-piece, like a 10-punch combination, and he hit him with each one?
Yeah. Was it, you talking about Hooker landed or was
Hooker landed. Boom, boom.
I'm watching it right now.
And like at the end of the second round, the second or third, it looked like Poirier was stuck.
Yeah.
Hooker landed some good shit.
Hooker's a badass, bro.
Yeah, so
bro, think about this.
No, but here's the thing you gotta understand too. It's Justin Poirier. Did you watch Poirier and Justin Gaethje?
mm-hmm.
I don't remember the fight. But this is what when Poirier went to fight this guy, people giving this guy Hooker a chance. I was like sure he was touching with Gaethje just like he was with this guy, like volume-wise. Like he has no fear.
Right.
You know, that's what they did. The UFC's been doing a good job here of putting on entertainment, like good, really good fights. Because Dana just, you can tell, he does not want to waste these top draw guys with no crowd. And he just, that's what you can't find a fight for Conor, can't find a fight for Masvidal because he doesn't want to waste this.
Bro, and let me tell you another thing. That fucking lightweight division, that's stacked and packed, bro. Between Ferguson and Gaethje, Khabib, Conor, Poirier. I mean that.
But he's giving Gaethje and Khabib fight with no fans, and I just don't think he wants to give away any other top guys to no fans. I mean, you got Cormier and Miocic, but that's the third one. But like, I doubt John Jones. Then that's what all these fighters are having problems now. They're saying they're not giving us enough money to fight. It's like, yeah, because there's no crowd. We don't want to waste you guys on a fight with no crowd. Like Masvidal supposedly is being offered like less than what he was offered to fight for against Nate Diaz. And he's like, why am I getting less? It's ridiculous. I just beat a guy, I should be getting more. It's like we don't have it. And it's like, so until like, this is UFC until we get the vaccine, I guess, but like, until we get crowds back, I mean, I'm not complaining because the cards are great. I mean, you just think there's always 3 or 4 strong fights on every card. So it's good entertainment, But I mean,
let's get some predictions for July 11th. What's the, what is it?
Usman and Burns. Yeah, wow. What's the fight that Burns tattooed Woodley so easily, though? I was surprised at that.
Yeah, I think it's good. Usman is the safe bet, but I might change it to Burns as we get closer because Burns is on a damn tear, So if Usman doesn't control the pace, it wasn't like he didn't get hit. He lost a couple rounds to who's your boy Kobe. He did lose a few rounds in that fight. That fight was closer than people remember. But if you look at how bad Burns beat up Woodley got smoked. And Usman kind of controlled Woodley too. But I think if you compare the two fights, Burns just ate Woodley's ass.
And that's another thing. I haven't even heard anything of Colby Covington.
No, I think who's somebody. He's supposed to fight somebody. I forget who. At some point, or at least he's trying to talk it up.
Yeah, but he wants more money too. There's a handful of guys that just will not come down on their price and they're not going to fight.
I tell you what's interesting. Uriah Hall and who's your boy Conan? The Cuban band that cut him up.
Oh,
Romero. Yeah. Uriah Hall and Romero might be good.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Volkanovski Holloway? I like Volkanovski. He's hot. Always nice. I always lost a couple fights here. I'm not back in that.
That'll be tough. Yeah, that'll be tough.
Peter Yan against
that was a great fight. The first one they had.
Yeah.
That's a tough fight. I'm gonna go with Alexander. I think that Max Holloway is like, these boxers when they've been in a lot of wars and they're just not the same. I just think that's what's happened to Max.
Could be.
Almost like
you know what Alexander because you can't pronounce his last name.
Yes. What's this guy's name? What was the other guy's name from Hawaii? The guy that was a champion in 2 divisions.
BJ Penn.
He reminded me of BJ Penn. Remember how BJ Penn was a monster, and then at the end he was kind of like he'd been in a lot of wars, and he just wasn't the same guy, kind of. You know what I'm saying? That's how I kind of see him.
You see why he had to retire?
He went on a big skid for a long time, and they just kept bringing him back.
Not to mention that, you know why he's retired now? He can't even fight anymore. Like, why wouldn't they let him fight?
No.
Bro, he got in a street fight.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
And the guy dropped him and knocked him out.
Yeah.
And like it was funny too because they showed it afterward. They showed the clip where BJ was like getting he's on top of the guy and like getting in there. Oh my God, BJ's getting a street fight. But then it took a few days before he showed the first part of the clip where the guy dropped him with a cross to the jaw. He was trying to settle the guy down. The guy sucker punched him and dropped him. And Dana White said no one fighting him.
Okay, so the Aldo fight.
That's the old school territory, Jimmy. If you lose a bar fight,
you have to Bill Watts, right? You can't win the fight at the bar, you're not going to put you in the ring, right?
Yeah. Aldo fight.
Is that Aldo and Yan?
Yeah.
Yan.
I got Yan.
Yeah, that's a good job.
To actually destroy him. But Andrade and Rosa Namajunas.
Andrade. You would like to think that Rose would make this comeback. Is Andrade the one that dropped her on her head the first time? With the same girl?
I'm not sure.
Who slammed on her head and took the title? She beat Rose, and then she went and lost the title and got damn smoked. But
let me see, because I can't remember right now.
yeah, all these damn names.
Yeah, against Andrade.
Yeah, she.
It actually says, listen to this, KO slam.
Yeah, she slammed around with damn head. I feel like Rose is good enough that she'll have a better game plan this time. So I might take Rose on that.
I'm gonna take her too. Let me see.
Then Andrade went over there and got knocked the fuck out, right? By whoever the champion is.
Yeah. And the fuck out is correct.
Yeah. Quick too. For fucking 30 seconds or something, I believe. Yeah. But that girl, the champion, is the best too. I think that she'll smoke weed.
Yeah. The Chinese girl, she's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. She's mean too.
Yeah.
She's mean. She's I like her. It's like she's all serious.
Yeah.
Not changing, you idiot.
I'm gonna rip you apart.
Shit.
I will put you in the fucking hospital. You are dead meat. Well, you got it, done it now. Fuck you. Suck my dick. I will put you in the fucking hospital. Motherfucker. I will put you in the fucking hospital. Wanna feel some pain?
All right, pick it.
Kind of you want to start off with from Xavier. Subject is cancel Braun Payments. So I played the Sammy G situation last week's episode to my wife. We're both AEW marks. I wanted her to hear that part, especially Diaz, thoughts on what's happening. Of course she raised an eyebrow to Diaz's comment, what women would. And then play some examples of how it was not long ago in the Attitude Era, Braun Kenny's match on YouTube. That being said, how far back are they, the quote-unquote they, going to go to oust the then talent? Let's look at the kids' commentary. Is it going to be apologies or reprimands for what was going on back then? It's getting really ridiculous. I attached some links. Yes, not a suggestion but a wish. Conan, hashtag food shirts. Let's have a shirt that says hashtag food. But yeah, back then, there's so many things you can cancel. It's just I don't see what the point is. You know, you cancel Braun Kenny's matches for everybody. It was fun.
And that was interesting because I saw this thing where it said Alexa Bliss was, oh, I would have never done a Braun Kenny match. You would have been in WWE back then, you would have done it. That's
she's already said the shot right here.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she said she would do it.
No, she said what weird. Funny because I told my wife about the scene in the water, and she kind of just saw it. Obviously, he doesn't really need things to break on him. Then I was telling Disco on the roundtable list, and since he did some watching on from TNA, I've been watching that TNA app at some of the shows from late 2002. She came downstairs about watching it, and the segment that I was watching was Russo was in the ring, and there was a girl, Athena. Remember Athena? Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember her at all. It seems like she's running around.
this is white girl, right?
Yeah. So she's in the ring arguing with Russo, and Vince, she slaps Vince, and Vince like pushes her down, and he's talking about her and calling her fucking slank and bitch and all this stuff. And he's like, wow, that was close, because he's not beating her, but he's putting pain in her, you know. There's no way, especially with the way he's talking to himself. So my wife said, I was like, that might not be good. She also understood that Sammy really didn't mean, you know, what people were taking.
Oh, I didn't mess with that damn bum.
Yeah, a lot of, and we always say this, there's a lot of fake outrage, you know?
Shit.
Next is from Luke Smith, subject is journalists. Hey guys, you all find it ironic that wrestling journals like Alvarez go to extreme lengths to bury the WWE daily on Twitter, ranting about the coronavirus testing and running shows in the current climate, giving us rumors of all the backstage stuff, but they have buried their heads in the sand with most of the sexual assault allegations. That's from Luke Smith. I'm not surprised at all.
I don't follow Brian Alvarez at all, so I don't know what, you know, any of this is it. Do you guys?
Not really. I mean, I follow him, but I don't.
So, I don't follow
guys,
him, so
let's
I don't know
do this
if
one.
that is true, then that's, you know.
I believe we can get this.
Isn't that something that Mark Madden was recently calling a lot of these guys out for, just including Sean Ross Sapp, about not reporting on these allegations?
For what now?
The Mark Madden, I saw him on Twitter calling out Sean Ross Sapp and arguing back and forth with him and some.
Oh yeah, because they're not doing any work.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are trying to, you know, I don't know. It's just, we're not going to get good journalism in professional wrestling, period. Next one's from Sage Antone, and the subject is Master of the Verbal Gem. Hey everyone, I don't know if you've heard, but according to CNN, the Houston Association of Realtors says it will no longer use the word master to describe bedrooms or bathrooms in its listings. There have been increasing calls for racial justice. Minorities can breathe a sigh of relief if racism is now over. With the NBA going after the term owner, being the, quote, master of the verbal gem. Is there any concern about this or any plans for a name change? If so, what would it be? Thanks, Steve from Windsor, Ontario, home of the best pizza in Canada. P.S. Thank you for freeing the listeners from KG.
I am concerned about that. Yeah, I am concerned they'll come after me next for being master of the verbal gems. And I would concur with home of the best pizza Canada. Scott Tuggles Deal Moore, who is on the disco list, actually gave me some pizza, and it was incredible.
That might be the pizza place he's talking about.
Yeah.
The next one is from Luke Ryan. The subject is Baron Corbin's real-life heat with Matt Riddle. Hey guys, so I'm reading the dirt sheets, and they're reporting that Baron Corbin isn't happy about having to be Matt Riddle's first feud in WWE. According to them, Corbin thinks that Riddle should be at least 5 other guys before Riddle gets to working. Question for you guys. Is this a perfect example of the dirt sheets making stuff up for clickbait? I mean, since when has Baron Corbin had a problem with putting guys over? Or could this be a case of WWE manager leaking out a story to those dumb assholes like Meltzer and his daughter Alvarez, who then in turn reported because they're so desperate for any form of online attention? Also, if it's real, what's your take on 220? Also, if it's real, what is your take on in 2020 a wrestler being a mark himself? And do you guys get any stories about having to deal with marks like that? KG thinks Will Smith music is too hardcore.
I like how KG keeps getting it. You know,
Yeah.
that's
If,
true.
I mean, Corbin, if he actually has a real problem with this, he should, know the fact that Little was an undefeated MMA fighter, UFC, and I think Bellator maybe, definitely UFC. So the guy has credentials. He's not just coming in. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think that Corbin has an issue with his concept. It just shows that, I don't know, but it's been, said that he has an attitude problem, he's kind of a dick and everything, so maybe he's been around a few years now, maybe it's starting to go to his head, like he's one of the locker room leaders or whatever.
I would also say to a situation that guys have been marks for themselves that we dealt with.
Bro, did you not get any sleep yesterday?
I was just tired for some reason. Raven is the guy who says a mark for himself. And he is a mark for himself because he still calls himself Raven. That's true. Am I right about that?
Yeah, Raven, host of the Raven Effect podcast.
Let me just say, I just found that email. It says, what's your take on a 2020 wrestler being a mark for himself? Bro, that's 90% of the dressing room right now.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and it's not, and they don't make it look anything like it's real, you know?
Right.
The next is from Adam Stewart, and the subject is CM Punk to AEW again. First of all, just said CM Punk's future, but he wouldn't bang Sonny. Mr. Finney, that's fake news. Go check out the photo she posted on Twitter for her in her underwear, telling you wouldn't be all over that ass like it was a Guns N' Roses leaked song. So to my question,
Stop.
one of you guys think that character was still back? He did, which now means that the toughest guy of all time, CM Punk, is now in a job with him. First, rumors going around that he's now in talks with AEW are coming to the company. Tony is this way.
Oh,
I think
shit.
it's a wise move if it happens. WWE backstage proved that CM Punk is not a draw. He's the greatest fighter in history, but he's not a draw. If you're going to AEW, would this just be more of Daddy's boy Tony? Dad buckets and wrestlers want to be my friend's Khan being pissed up against the wall? Finally, you guys should check out an episode of Raven Effect. Raven gets annoyed at Joe and Rich because they've never heard of any of the stuff he talks about. KG wears a belt. Let's go to that comment right there that asks Joe.
What's up?
So does Raven get annoyed with you because you don't remember the stuff you ever talked about?
I think there's some references to talking about it. I don't
Give me an
think
example.
it's that common. He might make a, like, you know how if I said a line from Caddyshack, everyone would pretty much get it, or Stripes, or Animal House, or something. Well, he'll drop a line from a movie or a TV show that was a little before my time, or I've never seen and I won't get it. Sometimes Rich does, sometimes I don't, whatever, but there's a little bit of that going on, but it's not frequent, I don't think. That show is like a well-oiled machine now.
Yeah, Punk is he's probably got a little bit. Yeah, he should never fought. If he would have fought and won or done better, he could probably get more than probably what he's asking for. But if he wants to wrestle again, I doubt people are going to pay him probably what he wants.
I just think that what were you going to say, Joe?
No, I agree with this. UFC Dancing pretty much irreparable. And the WWE backstage thing has proven that, maybe people were waiting for him to return, but that number has shrunk. And I don't think that he would have much of any effect on AEW's numbers. I think he lost a lot of luck.
I don't think that he's damaged irreparably. I think if he was in a real good storyline and the type of promos that he can cut, people would get behind it. But I do think that joining AEW right now is not going to mean anything. Timing is a lot of everything, and plus, they say he didn't draw any ratings on backstage. Most people don't watch WWE to watch backstage, but I don't think he'd be a big deal now in AEW. I do remember when I was, negotiating with AEW, and they were telling me about him. They were telling me that he was asking for like astronomical amount of money. That they really wanted to work with him, but that he was, yeah.
He thinks he's worth it, but what would the big match from there be? Punk.
First, he thinks he's not. He's not worth near what he thinks he's worth.
Right.
He's like Ronda Rousey in UFC. Like, she's lost 2 fights. If she ever goes back to him, she may get a number, but I doubt it.
I mean, I'm sure, bro, if they want to do something good to him and Jericho, him and Cody, I'm sure they could. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, from what they told me, he was just asking for way too much. And this is a company that's willing to spend, so who knows what he was asking for.
The next one is from Henry Lee. Subject is Impact Wrestling. Love the show, huge fan. My question is Impact is releasing Tessa Blanchard and Michael Elgin. Out of those two, what was more shocking out of those two? What you heard they were like that? Neither. I don't care if anybody lets go. I'm not surprised these days.
Yeah, not Tessa, because there were still 5 days left on her contract.
And she's still the she's still the champion.
Well, they stripped the
That's
title.
hysterical. She's like, yeah, but I mean, they had a stripper, but it's pretty funny. That she's
He's right
the
there,
20th,
clown.
aggressive as you are. Men's heavyweight champion Tessa Blanchard released from contract. I mean, who would think that, right?
Did she get stuck in Mexico or something? Is that what happened? And then
Well, she is stuck in Mexico.
She's still
so-
stuck in Mexico. Okay.
Yeah, she's got to be miserable.
And I think her contract was up in 5 days, and the show's July 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they probably wanted her to come in and drop the title, maybe, and she said no. Or maybe they wanted her to come in and she wanted more money, which, who knows?
I read that they wanted her to send in video promos to promote Slammiversary for like the last month or whatever, and she just wasn't having it. She wasn't interested. I don't know where that started, where the heat started or whatever, but it was clear a few weeks ago that they were starting to have problems. She wasn't anywhere on the TV.
So the next one is from Quantum Communities. Subject is wrestling, journalism, and speaking out. KK100, big fan. I recently listened to reactions to the speaking out allegations from journalists like Meltzer. They claim to be blindsided. Feels a little bit of like if they're covering their asses post facto. Do you guys think that no one in journalism had heard whispers of this? When it wasn't an old shirts, especially now in retrospective, bringing that story is really gross. These guys like Meltzer feel like they had to know more than they got. Any thoughts on prior knowledge by the dirt sheets? Thanks, and Leo from Alaska. I don't know who was playing.
If somebody like me, who until I did the show with you guys, I was just a fan and all that, had heard stories about different guys and how many girls they've slept with, or maybe they didn't treat girls that well, or girl stories, or this and that. If I heard that stuff, and I'm just a fan, how could these guys who consider themselves the journalists pretend that they've never heard any stories of guys acting out or being overly aggressive with women or whatever? If fans have heard it, they had to have heard this before the
I think my position on this would be that I think a lot of these guys didn't want to say anything because they didn't want to get heat with the wrestlers or maybe even get their ass whooped when they met them. Because that's, because you can ruin careers, you know what I'm saying? But I do think that now, if you consider yourself any sort of journalism or if you're doing your job correctly, it behooves you to find out, interview people, witnesses, whatever, and help put the story out there for the people that are afraid to do it.
What's like back in the day, maybe this is a part of it, maybe it's you don't want to say or report certain things because you lose access, you lose sources. Like they say back in the day, the sports reporters that would be on the road with guys like Babe Ruth or, whoever, Mickey Mantle, they would never report on the kind of shit those guys were getting in because it would cross a line for them as reporters. It's different now, everyone's scandals get reported, but back then journalists respected what the guys did on the road or whatever because they weren't
but still wrestling's still kind of a closed society that kind of works in their own ecosystem where, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of get blackballed and get heat and hey, let's nobody talk to this guy or work with this guy, you know what I'm saying? That can happen and has happened.
Next one's from Carlos Hernandez. The subject is keeping the Shield together. Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Thinking about comment disc made about the Shield being a cool thing. This is an exciting time in wrestling. I thought they were booked strong and it showed when they beat everyone, including the team which had John Cena in. Did they need to separate them? At least so quick? You mentioned that the NWO had 3 big stars. As a booker, how do you make this work? There has to be a fall guy, right? The guy who takes the pin as a world champion. There has to be one that's a leader too, right? Thanks for your time and knowledge. No, they did not have to separate. I always looked at those guys, and I think they could do this given with the Undisputed Era too. Is that if you looked, do you remember the movie A Powerful Force with Clint Eastwood from Dirty Harry's?
Yeah, by the way, by the name Undisputed Era, correct?
Okay. Do you remember the plot line of that movie, Brian?
Dirty Harry?
Yeah, for Magnum Force.
Yeah, he's a fucking dirty cop.
No, but what was who were the heels? Remember? It was the 4 cops, the 4 highway patrol guys, right? And what they were doing was they were California Highway Patrol, but they were pulling over people and doing vigilante justice, like there'd be a gangster and they pull over speeding and they'd open the window of the limo and they'd shoot everybody, they kill everybody, right? They didn't, and then we didn't know who was doing it, right? I always looked at gimmicks like the Undisputed Era, like the guys like that, like pretty boy young guys, kind of like hot shots, good at their job and everything, but fake baby faces. That's what I've always liked the characters of the fake baby face, where they act like they're doing, that they're doing good, but their motives are nefarious, and we figure it out by watching as fans that their motives are nefarious. I like gimmicks like that, and I think the Shield was doing something similar to that because they were, they were on the right path, and I didn't think they had to split them up. I thought they could have kept going forever with that thing.
But I think what they wanted to do was have 3 guys that were equally strong, so that when they broke up, they had 3 new main eventers, and that's how it started. I just don't think that they ever capitalized on after the breakup. They had some matches, Ambrose, Rollins, Reigns versus Rollins, whatever, but they never had the really big Shield 3-way match or whatever. It just never happened.
Well, plus 2, they never.
How long were they
together
with the Shield? How long were they together? Do you
Just
remember?
a year and a half. The first time.
Because here's what I said they should have done with them, is they should have just given them all the belts. Let one guy be the champion, let the other 2 be the tag team champions, and one of the tag team champions has one of the other belts.
Yeah, first
And they just do that for a couple of months. Just build them up and stuff. But they never gave them all the gold.
No, at first they had Ambrose as the U.S. champ, and then Reigns and Rollins were the tag. And so they did all have belts, but not the big
At
belts.
the same time, right. So that's my thoughts on that. Next one is from another Sammy Guevara, Jackie Jones. Sammy Guevara versus AEW. First of all, I think I speak for every listener when I say that last week's debate on the speaking out stuff was just 5-star brilliant. Also, whoever picked Tennessee Whiskey as a song pick, you officially get the Jackie Jones thumbs up of the week. That's great. You want to do that? Forgetting that, I mean...
well, he's putting it over, no. He's putting it over.
Well, but he's put himself over.
You want me to?
You officially get the Jackie
Thumbs up.
the Jackie Jones thumbs up of the week title, So my question this week, so my question this week, do you think that Sammy Guevara should quit and then sue AEW? We don't even go over the joke again, because that's what it was, a joke. It was a dumb joke, I didn't laugh, to suspend the guy for a crappy joke is insane. Not only that, this is being called out right now for actual violent crimes, and Tony Khan thinks that Joe is on the same level. What makes it even worse, due to the sewer-dwelling marks, yes, I mean people like me, that we have these days, they will never let this pass by. Look at Enzo. The guy was proven 100% innocent, yet he still got tarnished with the pervert brush due to the marks of addiction arrest. Basically, as AEW ruined Sammy Guevara's career. P.S. Disco, I listened to both of your interviews with Hughie. Do you generally not like the guy? I'm not saying there should be a Disco Hughie spin-off show, but you guys seem to have good chemistry, but on the YouTube clips of it, you seem to really not like the guy. Is that a shoot? Yes, it is a shoot. No, it's just that the thing with Hughie, every single sentence the guy had, he failed attempt to comment. Okay, so I can see, so it's just that he doesn't humor me. So I still think that Guevara should get a lawyer to begin with. And try to get his money. There's no way they don't know. The fact that they can see, let me tell you something. If people are talking about, like, wrestlers need a union, okay? Well, it's not wrestlers need a union because of, the WWE coronavirus testing procedures. The wrestlers need a union because of what Tony Khan is doing to Sammy Guevara. Okay, because Tony Khan works with professional, with the NFL, with he works with the English Premier League, which has ways to deal with players over there, like, some English soccer. But he's the boss of this group, and there's no union to deal with. He can literally punish the wrestlers any way he wants to, including finding a guy without pay for something he did when he wasn't even working for the company. If you had a union, there's no way that would happen to the point where you would get a financial penalty for something you did that you were not dealing with the company. It's ridiculous. So it's like, I think Sammy should stand up for himself, but I know he's a kid. I know he doesn't want to ruffle feathers, but like, Bro, he should have stood up for something. You know?
I don't think it's ruined his career, but
Not yet. Has he been on TV yet?
well, he's suspended. I'll
Yeah,
give
he
you.
is.
Yeah, it's just his career low.
Well, here's what.
His career has not been ruined, but it's not gotten any better the past 2 weeks. You know?
He's suspended, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, bro. When you're trying to be progressive and you're trying to market that crowd, the SJW crowd, you know for a fact that if you didn't do anything about the Sammy Guevara thing, they were going to eat you up. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Would you agree with that or disagree with that?
agree. No, I agree. What I wanted to do though is I want to read you guys the two statements that AEW made, right? So, for Sammy Guevara, who they suspended for making a joke on a podcast 4 years prior. That's Hazel's joke. It says, AEW insists on doing our part to create a world of understanding and respect for human beings. We therefore strongly condemn the extremely offensive and hurtful words of Sammy Guevara. As such, effective immediately, Sammy is suspended without pay until further notice. Sammy has agreed to undergo extensive sensitivity training, and upon completion, his future status in the company will be reevaluated. During his suspension, his salary will be donated to the Women's Center of Justice. Now, Jimmy Havoc was suspended for being accused of rape.
Can I just say something real quick? If I could produce a segment and they had Jimmy and they had Sammy Guevara going to sensitivity classes, I would have him walk into a class and the teachers were Cornette and New Jack.
So Jimmy
How
Havoc.
great would that be? Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Jimmy Havoc got suspended for an actual allegation of sexual assault. And AEW's statement after that was, "We wish Jimmy Havoc all the best as he receives treatment and counseling in an effort to overcome the mental health and substance abuse challenges in his life. We are aware of the various reports related to Jimmy. We are evaluating his status with our company. We'll address it when he has successfully completed his rehabilitation."
Why do I have a feeling that one day I'm going to have to put that up on Twitter about you? Nothing? Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, but it's certainly possible. No, but to me, those statements are the biggest thing that stands out that I mentioned before is they specifically say in Sammy's, we're donating his money to the women's shelter or whatever. But Jimmy Havoc, who's been accused of sexual assault, they don't say, hey, we're going to donate his salary to drug addiction or whatever. Like, is Jimmy going to get paid for a real allegation and Sammy's not getting paid for a joke? That to me doesn't make any sense, right?
Like I said, I think they went overboard with this, you know. And how old is Sammy now? Like 24 or something like that?
That's really young. Yeah.
He's young.
Sammy, he cracks me up. He's 26. So he said that when he was 22. Come on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensitivity training.
Yeah. And like I told you last week, it's getting worse.
It's getting worse. I mean, it's crazy. Like, we live in a really crazy time where nonsense, stuff that you would just love to, like, I mean, here's the thing, you would love to debate some of these things with people, right? But these progressive things come so fast, it comes, and it's accepted. And like one day, we really
The worst part is
it's like, wait a second, I want to debate this. You know, it's like you can't debate it.
They attack you if you don't agree, or worse, cancel you.
Yeah. And it's like all you want to do is just debate some of these topics.
Yeah, no, there's no
It's like,
debate.
you're like, no, you're
You're
right.
with us or you're against us.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, like, Jesus.
You can catch another 30 minutes of mailbag questions and answers on the Patreon site, patreon.com/Conan, and Conan.me.
Conan, I got a question for you.
So what up? Boom.
How are your nether regions going to come along with the Manscaped products you've been using?
Would you like me to send you a picture?
I don't want to see a picture, but let's let everybody know that Manscaped
Right.
is one of the sponsors of the show,
Right.
and that they're offering precision engineered tools for family jewels. They've set over their technology development to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. What we're talking about is down there in your other region is like chicks do not like that. Did we hear that? Okay.
Or males.
So let me tell you this. Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer.
I can't
And
say
I'm
into
sure a
it.
lot of
There's
our
nothing to earn.
listeners
This is fucking
have used the
retarded.
Manscaped products like I have. But the Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created, and it just released a new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. Their third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce manscaping accidents thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. When I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. Now, honestly, if you're going to spend 90 minutes shaving your nether regions, I would suggest that that's not necessary, but you don't have to charge this thing all the time. All right?
Some people like a nice long shower.
Yeah. Well, not 90-minute shower. I mean, like I said, maybe 30 minutes, but like you can do 3 30-minute showers. The water-resistant technology allows you to groom in the shower. One of the coolest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for closer, more precision trimming. So basically, like, when it's hard to look down there, and like you can't tell, you've got that light that shines on it and lets you see everything. And they've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet strength technology. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud because the intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. If you're listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience firsthand for yourself. Trim that junk of yours. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code K100, that's K100 at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code K100, that's K100 at manscaped.com. That's MANSCAPED.com. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use code K100.
You know, we've referenced the Lawnmower 3.0, of course, and the charging stand and the light, and the fact that it stays charged for 90 minutes. But we haven't really talked about that much recently is the crop cleanser. You get in there, you got your hair and body wash. You have the crop preserver. You can just fall deodorant. You literally put it on down there. It's summertime, it's hot, you're sweaty, you put this deodorant on, and you're going to smell good all day.
The cologne.
Yeah, the refined cologne. I'm just going to mention that too. So not only can you keep yourself groomed with everything Manscaped has to offer, but you'll smell good all summer too. And this stuff does smell very good.
So make sure you get your Manscaped and keep your shit clean. Boom.
Respetable público, lucharán 2 de 3 caídas sin límite de tiempo. En esta esquina, el Santo Cavernario. Y en esta otra, Lucero y el Santo Cavernario. Lucero y el Bulldog. El Santo Cavernario. Lucero y el Bulldog.
Yo, we're back with Disco's favorite segment of the show, the Mass Republic Minute. What it do? Boom.
It's gone.
What up?
Where's my money for the masks?
It's like July 1st.
Happy
Like, you
4th.
gotta give it like at least a few 5-7 days or something with the sales
It's been
report.
5-7
share it
days.
with you.
Here's what I want to know. Have you paid Conan any compensation for the masks yet?
He's in his first month too. Penta got paid, Phoenix got paid because they
No. So why would they pay?
because their
That's what I mean.
maxed out with sales last
Aren't you
month.
supposed to pay the guy who came up with the idea first? And then pay everybody else?
I told you I'm giving you 10 peso royalty, and that will hopefully. Yeah.
You give me a what now?
Your sister just took
For
this thing.
everybody. Yeah.
So take me out. Somebody has to take my love. Y'all are the stuff.
So you go with the conversion rate, because I know Mexican money ain't worth nothing. It's like cheap today, so they don't have any money over there. 44 cents on the dollar. So you're going to give me $4.40?
No. 10 pesos is like.
10 pesos is 40. A peso is 40 cents. 20 cents is a dollar.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's actually 4.44 cents.
Right, yeah.
You're going to be 4 cents?
That's something.
Yeah.
It could add up.
Oh, you know what? I hope you catch coronavirus.
Hey, that's
I hope you.
Get it back. I flushed it down the toilet.
And everybody in the what do you call it? The production that was there was they all touch it and they have to get the shutdown. That's what I think. Why is Conan pointing in the middle of the snowball? Yeah, they closed the door. Why are you Conan, your behavior's been bizarre.
Doesn't
The
matter.
past couple days, you're excessively late to the show today.
Yeah, okay.
You slept through our round table.
Yeah.
Okay, we were doing a roundtable on Sunday night. You literally slept through it. Okay, just did not wake up. You missed work. I mean, should we have an intervention here? It's a really good time to sue you right now. It's like you're discombobulated. You're like, oh, you know. Do you have anything planned, Rock? Am I the only one working today, or is everybody like just like
You're not funny.
doing, you know, StreamYarding is like what now?
You're playing unfunny jokes so much when Raven doesn't get last time you to you. So.
But people get around with this stuff.
No, they're not. Nobody hears it. Nobody hears it. So nobody else.
Everybody listen to this. I want you to take a picture of this segment and then post on Twitter because we're laughing. I'm gonna make a new rule too. I'm gonna make a person who's been prime offender too. I'm gonna like no more headwear. I want everybody to like fix their hair up nice and everything.
That's not happening.
Put a shirt and tie on.
I want to read this. And I don't want to get into it, but I just want to read it and then continue to lucha. This is an actual statement from your leader. Okay, well, when you hear it, you'll know. Trump ludicrously claimed to Fox Business just now that I think we're going to be very good with the coronavirus. I think that at some point that's going to sort of just disappear, I hope. Okay, what do you got, Kevin?
What was that?
An idiot. You're an idiot. What a fucking idiot.
He's supposed to, he's trying to, like, get top seriously. There's still people, bro, this idiot Matt Cook is going back and forth with me on the internet, and I'm giving him, like, blatant evidence, like, it's irrefutable, you can't even, like, argue against, and he still thinks that the protests didn't have anything to do with this fight.
All right, we're going to talk
All right,
about
that's
that
it for this one.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I'll see y'all later on this
It
evening.
sure is not allowed Lucha Libre. Well, I mean, there have been, there continue to be independent shows in Mexico.
Where?
Here and there.